Why, oh why can't I just do it one take? Since the internet birthed the streaming wars and Netflix went from physical renting services like Blockbuster to a digital smorgasbord of binge eating in the form of zeros and ones, Netflix has given us some top-tier TV series to stuff our faces full of, including but not limited to Dark, Stranger Things, and the short-lived but equally excellent Dirk Gently's holistic detective agency and the OA. But what they didn't know is the monsters they would create in us. You and I, we the people, went from perusing the aisles of Blockbuster, looking at Get 2, Get a Third free every Friday night, to I must watch, I must have it, and I must watch it and have it all now. This is the monster that the entertainment industry created in us. And right about now, you are probably scratching your head or moving on to the next review. But if you're still here, firstly, thank you, and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben. And secondly, there is a reason I've taken you on this journey for this particular review. And here it is. Streaming services, Netflix being the first of these giants, turned couch potatoes into hungry hippo couch potatoes.
We're hungry, hungry hippo.
It's the new poison that we inject into our veins. Sugar, of course, is still the main course, but this particular poison is very clever because once you've ingested something akin to a godlike 7-course meal,
Yes, chef!
I love you all.
We love you too, chef!
like the recent Eternaught or Three Body Problem, also on Netflix, not sponsored, I swear. These visual feasts are so stunning and peak cinema that they leave us ravenous for more. Now millions of us around the world expect a 7-course visual crescendo with every new set of moving images.
Protein or veg? Protein or veg?
Of course, not all food is made equal, and thus we get the junk that fills up our many streaming arteries, eating our humble McD burgers and KFC chicken in the hopes that one day we shall feast like gods again. Well, my friends, ladies and germs, aunties, uncles, nieces and nephews, Bagginses and boffins, tooks and brandy bucks, grubs, chubs, hornblowers, bloggers, brace girdles and proudfoots. I think we have just found such a TV series. Let's talk about Department Q. Carl, a former rated detective, is racked with guilt following an attack that left his partner paralyzed and another policeman dead. On his return to work, Carl is assigned to a cold case that will consume his whole life. I haven't read the books or seen the films based on the books. I haven't even heard of them until I watched this series, and then doing my research, of course I have. And of course now I really want to go and read the books, because if the books are half as good as the TV series, I'm in for a wild ride. Okay, first let's talk about the actors, scripting, and dialogue. Matthew Goode plays DCI Carl Mork. I loved him in A Discovery of Witches. Still, I was worried when I saw he was playing the lead because I thought I knew exactly the character he was going to play. And that's because I've seen him play mostly several characters very similarly. Thankfully, that is not the case. Goode plays Carl in a way that makes you dislike him a lot at first. I said to my wife Kaylee that if it weren't for his very likable team, I might have tapped out because of his douchebaggery. Think in the levels of House, and then you're getting in the zone of what his character is sort of like. And that's not because of the accident or the incident at the beginning of the series. No, his character just rubs everyone the wrong way. And that's because most of the time he finds everyone around him dumber than he is. He's a little bit Sherlock, but mixed in with a bag of Riggs from the Lethal Weapon series. And I'll come back to that comparison in a bit. Matthew plays a character who is relatable in the worst ways. And because he is frustratingly good at his job, he still has a job. Only now he has layers of guilt because of the MacGuffin storyline. It's not till the latter half of this season of TV that there is any growth in his character. Thankfully, the Avengers-like team he assembles begrudgingly are far more relatable than he is and far more likable. So let's talk about them. Akram is the first to join the team as an unofficial, official helper assistant, originally from Syria and is steeped in mystery. We know he is well trained and has a particular set of skills At least we think we know he has. Alexei Manilov's, and I don't know if I'm getting his name right, but his portrayal of Akram makes us instantly love his character, from the way he communicates with those around him, to the way he calculates what to say and how to say it, ensuring he gathers all the information he needs whenever he's speaking to a particular person that involves with the case, and even those teammates. This intelligence mixed with mystery plays off beautifully against Mode's grumpy but intelligent DCI Mork. It's a bit buddy cop, like the previously mentioned Lethal Weapon movie series. Riggs and Murtaugh had a very similar relationship. Riggs is depressed and wants to take his own life at the beginning of the first film. Murtaugh doesn't know how to help his partner, but they end up being the best of friends. Family even.
You're getting too old for this shit.
Here, there is a similar vibe and dynamic, only add some Britishness and some Scottishness flavour and grounding to that. There's even the captain who shouts and screams blue murder. There's even the psychiatrist whose appointments are missed because DCI Mork hasn't shown up for a few. Comparisons to the Lethal Weapon series seem apt here. That's not a bad thing either.
How about that?
There are several other main characters that I won't go into because of spoilers and character motivations that would be very difficult to talk about without spoiling some of the fun reveals that you get within the mystery. Let me just say that the dialogue is really witty in places, but it's also very raw in places. It's patient in the times that it needs to be patient. It's just very good. Every actor brings their A game, and when the script is this good, how can they not be great at what they're doing? Let's discuss the visuals, story, and pacing. There are 9 episodes in total, each approximately 45 to 50 minutes long, except for the final episode, which is an hour and 10 minutes long to finish up the great crescendo that it is building to. The main investigation, the whole reason the DeptQ was created, is completed within this story. However, there is an overarching storyline that could be continued if we get more. But it could also stand alone as a limited series if needed. The story is told through a chronological narrative featuring our DCI team and the case they are investigating. We are introduced to other characters through various flashback scenes and creative ratio aspects of what a particular character is going through as we intersect this, all of whom are important to this case. It is a cop procedural drama, and this series could have played it safe and become one of those cheeseburgers that you forget about quickly. Thankfully, the writers, actors, and creators did not do that. The mystery is interwoven beautifully with our broken characters. Good guys are flawed and in need of help themselves. DeptQ itself is located in the basement, where the old toilets used to be. This workplace environment creates some wonderful character building moments. Their office is a character in of itself. Even if the reality is due to health and safety regulations Great Britain adheres to, this would never really happen. It is still an excellent home base for the characters and for us to explore them in. This is where the series truly shines. There are several home bases or sets that our characters return to. This helps us, the viewer, to understand the pacing and the storyline beats. Because the mystery jumps around a bit, it's terrific to have these similar sets to return to, and it doesn't hurt that they are rich with tense scenes that will make you hold your breath in places. There's a sense of urgency in the pacing due to the story element that is woven into the fabric of the investigation. This created in my wife and me a need to watch one episode after the next. We had to find out what was happening, as if we didn't keep watching, the worst would happen. Of course, we know that nothing would happen. It's a TV series and not reality. I'm not crazy. I'm not entirely crazy yet. However, it's the creative tension that the editing brings to the forefront of this mystery. This series was a tour de force in storytelling, creativity, character development, and has a sense of fulfillment that is often lacking in recent Netflix series, which is why I gravitate so much to limited series in fear of the dreaded cancellation, or should I say inevitable. This series accomplishes something magical. It's a limited series, for now, It could be more, but it doesn't have to be. It's interesting from beginning to end. It's relatable, but still incorporates some fantastical elements that are believable due to their acting. The score is understated, never forceful, but there when needed. There is some full nakedness on display. There's a lot of bad words, like the use of the word moist. You should never use that word. There is some gnarly violence and some really dark adult themes. I give Department Q 5 out of 5 Nicolas Cages.
I guess I was pretty horny.
Is this perfect? No. There is a little bit of a lag in one of the episodes, but it's about as perfect as it could be. I'm excited for everyone to check this one out. If you enjoyed this review and the format of this review, please lick or like the lick button. No. I mean, lick that like button, subscribe for more shenanigans, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.